Capricorn, welcome to your weekly sidereal forecast for May 25th through the 31st. My name is Athan. So this week we have an interesting week, to say the least. We've got Mercury going over both Mars and the Sun now in the stellium three-way conjunction in your 5th house. While that's happening, those planets are going to be squaring up to Neptune all week, starting with Mars Monday and Tuesday, ending with the Sun on Saturday and Sunday, and then Mercury in between. So lots of this emphasis here lately with your self-expression, perhaps your creativity, your zest for life, your enjoyment of life, all these 5th house related things. I think you've been motivated by them. I think you've been reflecting and rethinking perhaps about, how you're expressing yourself and what you enjoy out of life. And then also with the Sun here too, it's seeing the truth and the profoundness, as you normally do with the Sun ruling your 8th house of these matters. So highlighted here a lot of emphasis, but it's important that with this Neptune in the 2nd house, you bring in that Neptune energy, which is the trust, the peace, the presence, the compassion involved with your self-expression, creativity, and all those other areas involving these rulers. Because Mars rules it's a lot of areas here. Mars rules your 11th, which is groups and friends, causes, also your home and family. Mercury rules naturally your day-to-day activities, your life path, your philosophy, you're reflecting and reworking perhaps on those things as well, and the deeper side of life. So a lot of different areas here being activated. So it's very important that you bring in this Neptunian presence into these things that perhaps you're creating or expressing this week. And this is all this Neptune of learning to trust and flow with the material side of things, or the financial or the values in your life. Neptune in the 2nd house has been showing you the importance of, trusting and flowing with, your enjoyments, the simple life, and also things relating to your values. Like it's knowing, what it is we intuitively are in tune with in terms of our values, what it is that we're connected to on a deeper level with our values, and how that is, a spiritual process. And there's this whole process to the material side of life. So all that stuff you've been learning over the past many years with Neptune in the 2nd house involving that trust is going to be aspecting that 5th house. So constructively bringing that into, again, a lot of different areas of your life, specifically right now in the area of your self-expression. You'll find that very constructive, because this can be very, very strong energy here to work with, very positive energy, because when we're flowing, it's like things are just unfolding. It's like, the self-expression is coming naturally. Creativity is coming naturally. The fun, the joy is coming naturally when we just allow it to. And that's how Neptune works, and that's what we learn. It's how to release and flow. So that's going to be the highlight, the emphasis too for the entire week. Now Monday and Tuesday, Venus is going to be squaring up to this Uranus in your 3rd. So there's been a lot of releasing and transformations and freeing up that's been happening with your communications, maybe with your thoughts. And so now in the early part of the week, continue with that, because the square energy is suggesting that maybe these things that you are enjoying with your routine, the daily activities, or maybe even with your, you've been improving with your work and self-expression. It's very important that you just take it nice and slow this early part of the week. Don't make any rash decisions, because sometimes with Uranus square, it can feel like, okay, we want to rush into something or do something right away. But it's important that with the square, we take it nice and slow, constructive. But if there are changes, if there are things that you need to do, maybe it takes that effort and conscious energy to do so, then it is very important this early part of the week that you work towards that, the communication, maybe things relating to the routine daily environment, your self-expression, and maybe even career related as well. Venus rules both your 5th and your 10th house. So that's the early part, and it's very important that early part too, while Mars is squaring up to Neptune, that we take the actions nice and slow. We don't force things too much, and in that way we'll find that peace and tranquility. So that's the early part. Also in the early part, Tuesday and Wednesday, Mercury will be going over your Mars. So I think there is a lot to be learned about that. There's also a lot to be learned about home and family, domestic side of life, and friends and things of that nature too, with Mercury going over there. So the important there is seeing what really motivates you about fun, what motivates you about life, about creativity, and reflecting on those things. Wednesday and Thursday, Venus will be trining up to Chiron from your 6th house here. So this is a very supportive energy here, where Chiron in your 2nd has been healing you with the material side of life, and your values and all of this simple life has been very healing for you, even connecting to nature. It's been very healing. So That's been for many years. And so now with Chiron trining up to Venus, it's a fantastic middle part of the week to do all those things. And I think you'll find that very enjoyable, and also perhaps supporting these routine things that you're involved with right now, and your self-expression and your work as well, So I'd really recommend, again, that second house, connecting to the second house thing, but with Neptune, remembering to just trust and flow with the whole process there. Now, Wednesday through Saturday, so this whole second half of the week here, Mercury is going to be squaring up to that Neptune. So Mercury is the rational mind here. I think you guys are, again, thinking about how you're expressing yourself, your enjoyments. So it's very important with Neptune that, with Mercury and Neptune, that our rational mind, which is Mercury, it's important we turn it down, we bring it down a little bit, because Neptune is showing us, again, there's a deeper involvement, there's an intuition, there's a connection to God or the universe, however you see that. And so with the mind, not trying to overanalyze things and try to figure things out too much is going to be the emphasis here for the second half. And in that way, it will be certainly supporting you towards this enjoyment, which you can certainly have this week, and even flow in the material side of life by bringing in those Neptunian energies. Now, over the weekend, the Sun will be conjuncting over Mercury here in the 5th house. So the weekend is actually very supportive, because that conjunction is going to be trining up to the North Node. So while I think you are learning about the self-expression and even the deeper, how to express yourself deeper and more deeply as you normally do, but it's that time to do that even more, it'll be supporting you towards your life path. And that's where the North Node's been transiting in your 9th house all year, and will continue all year, which is about life path, philosophy, spirituality, astrology, divinity, things that open up your horizons. And that's where the flow is all year, whether you've been feeling this personally or not, because it isn't a personal planet. But if you look, there's certainly been the opportunities and flow there for you. So that energy, anything relating to the more expansive side of life, I think is very, very supportive over the weekend. And I think you'll find that very supportive towards all of this self-expression and creativity and joy of life that's kind of going through this change, and you're learning about, and this kind of restructuring that's taking place in that area this week. So all in all, definitely the emphasis on that 5th house, on the self-expression, learning about that, working with that, and then bringing in that flow with that as well, especially with the material side of life. And then over the weekend, expanding. Maybe if it's reading a philosophy book or doing some traveling or going out into nature, I think it would be a really nice weekend for those 9th house matters. So hope you guys have a nice week. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. If you're new to this form of astrology, do check out masteringthezodiac.com, or if you'd like a personal reading, and I will see you all next time. Take care.